microphone was muted. What's up, everybody? So, yeah, I'm here. I'm already heard the clack and the noise and everything in the game. I'm already getting started. So, yeah, the Trona Railway project. I was watching a stream from a few months ago, and I realized that Trona is actually, for me, as well as the individual I was watching, is not was not it was basically a little I guess I don't know, subdivision, short line, whatever you want to call it, something that I have never worked. So I decided to get out there and do it, and I'm doing this one over a series of videos, and I'm going to explain why in just a minute. But actually, I'll explain why now. I don't know why I'm going to wait. Right now, I am actually in Yermo, Union Pacific Yard, not that far from Barstow, as a matter of fact. In fact, we're going to pass through Barstow. But I've actually am simulating, pretending, okay, I'm pretending, that I'm actually bringing a train in from North Platte, Nebraska. An order has been placed. Searles Valley Minerals has been purchased by a whole new entity. And it has the company, well, Searles Valley Mineral has been sitting idle. And if we pop out there, and we'll go out there and show you that there's nothing out there. There's no cars, there's no motive power. The previous company sold off all their assets. A new company has purchased it and has basically they've retrofitted everything. I'm just pretending they have. It doesn't matter as far as the simulator is concerned. But they've now, oops, I don't want to stop that fast. I do want to get down to about that speed. Let's go slow speed. Oops, what am I doing? There we go. Let's see if this will set. Keep it at 3. Yep. Okay. So anyway, so the new company is ready to start operations, and they have placed an order, basically with oh, I got to take the EOT device off. With Union Pacific, we need cars, and we need motive power. What have you got? What have you got for sale? And they have purchased it. Now, what started this idea, believe it or not, like I said, I did watch a YouTube video, but before that, as I was scouring YouTube for a whole bunch of other videos to watch, I came across another YouTube video of a rail fan that was rail fanning out in Trona. And then I did a search. I found some more, and it kind of gave me that gave me an idea of like how I want to do the operations out there. And so that started it. And then of course I watched somebody else's YouTube video, and I'm like, okay, I got to do it. I got to go out to Trona. And I've been a little bit hesitant, kind of like I've been kind of hesitant about going down to Southern California and working all the yards down there. But you know what? I just got to do it at some point. And as of right now, I don't have that many votes yet, but I did put a poll up on my YouTube channel here that if I were to change from Northern California for my virtual model railroad, where should I go? And I put all the options in there because I've got all the subdivisions. So we can either stay in Northern California, we can go to Southern California, we can go to the Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line, we can go to CNX Southeast, CSX Northeast. I think I said CNX earlier. Anyway, so which that's another one. I mean, I bought the subdivisions for Northeast and have done absolutely nothing up there. So if you watch the video, take time to go to the poll, and I'm going to close the poll out probably about mid-October, because I started about mid-September. So at which point then I'll bring whichever goes, and if there's a tie, I'm the tiebreaker, and for a moment there was a tie between Southern California and and CSX northeast. So, but we'll go with that and see what we do here. Anyway, all right, let's go down. So before I show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I'm sure somebody's going to probably swing, real railroaders out there are going to absolutely scream because, well, quite frankly, I am not a real railroader, and so let's make sure everything's, I'm going partial on both of these. Not good enough. Okay. Let's go to the other down here, make sure, whoops, I don't want to give away what I'm doing here. We're going to talk about this in a minute. So I did a little bit of research on Trona Railway and what goes on out there in Searles Valley, what Searles Valley is, why they produce what they do. It was pretty interesting. All right. So I'm going to step back and show you what I'm doing. I'm putting these units on the end of this train. They are not going to be running. I'm definitely going to send them for isolate. I don't want them being a part of this at all. I'm already, well, this is going to drop it, but I'm already like 3.5% or 3.5 horsepower per ton. So, and I'm not doing anything with, oops, these particular locomotives other than dragging them to Trona. So one of the things I looked up and I'm trying to simulate here is Trona Railway. I think only once in their history on their roster did they ever buy a locomotive brand new. Everything they've gotten was used. And they in their roster, and you can find it too if you just search Trona Railway roster, and that's how I found it. It came up with a nice thing that basically they have 6 locomotives that they purchased in 2002. There is no retirement date on those locomotives. 3 of them are tunnel motors. 3 of them are SD40-2s. So basically, all of them are SD40s, but we got SD40T-2 and an SD40-2. And that's what I've simulated here. So we have a Southern Pacific that's been patched for Union Pacific, an old Union Pacific unit, another Southern Pacific that's been patched, and these are that's a tunnel motor, that's a tunnel motor, that's the SD40, that's an SD40, and then we have the Union Pacific tunnel motor down here, another SD40. This is the only true Southern Pacific because I just realized that I didn't find it, maybe I missed it, but as I have a Southern Pacific SD40, but they don't have it patched for Union Pacific. So I may have to go find an enhancement to see if I can find an enhancement to give me an SD40-2 and patch for Union Pacific. So anyway, so tunnel motor, SD40-2, tunnel motor, -2, tunnel motor. So 3 tunnel motors, 3 -2s. These are being dragged. You can see right here the tags above there are Y for yard, TRC, Trona Railroad Company. They're being dragged out there to Trona. Let's go into drone mode. So, and then the rest of this train is everything. I mean, this is the first shipment of cars heading to Trona. And so we have mostly covered hoppers. There's we got acid car there. I'm going to pop out there and show you what I did too. We have an empty box car. Initially, it was calling for a loaded box car. And as I popped out there, I didn't see any place to actually park a loaded box car. So I kind of changed some things up and so the box cars are like this, is Searles Valley Minerals. So that is that particular company or industry. And so the boxcar is set for Searles Valley Minerals, but I changed it from producing empties to producing loads. So why? What Searles Valley is out there, it's an old dry lake bed. And I'm just going to paraphrase what I read. So it's an old lake bed, like an inland sea. Lot of um, it's prehistoric, so there's lots of minerals out there. So they produce borax and they produce potash. Um, Potash obviously is one of the main ingredients that they produce, which is used in fertilizer. So they basically produce one of the key ingredients of fertilizer, and that's what the covered hoppers are for. And of course they use coal. They unload coal. I don't think we got any coal cars on this one, but they they use coal to power their industry out there. So we'll be dragging some coal cars out there. Um, Even if I have to create a train that is to come from here and just be a unit train of nothing but coal, I kind of want to let the system do its thing. I have basically I have deleted, respawned, deleted, respawned, deleted, respawned my train, and I keep getting this consist. So okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to drag so over the next few videos, I'm going to be dragging this train out from Yermo. Let me show you where I'm going to be going here. I'll bring up. Okay, it's from dispatching screen. I'm up here right now at the Yermo yard. I'm going to be heading down main 1 as soon as I got to wait for this BNSF to come in, which is coming in from Needles. So I'm waiting on that right now. That's why I'm monologuing. Actually, I'm monologuing all the way through this now I think about it. Anyway, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to do this. There we go. So I can see the chat. Okay. So anyway, I'll be coming from Yermo, coming up here. This is Barstow area here. I'll be passing through Barstow and going out through through Hinckley, out the Mojave sub, which basically is going to bring me make sure I got this right here. I just lost my train of thought. Hinckley's right here, coming out through Hinckley, going out to here to C. C is right here. I'll be coming down, and then this brings me actually into Mojave. Mojave yard right there is a Union Pacific yard, and then just past the Mojave yard is the cutoff that goes out to the Searles yard. So it's not represented here on the dispatch screen, but if you do look at the map that was drawn up by the people over at the Depot Plus, you'll see it on there. It basically heads out. So it may be, depending on the length of the stream, I don't want to go too long. I don't want to spend all afternoon doing this. So even if I have to pull into a yard and say, okay, I'm going to stop, maybe, I can definitely get past Hinckley, Boron, all that, Edwards Air Force Base. So, but this is a BNSF track right here, but Union Pacific has track rights on it. So, and we come down here into Mojave. This is Union Pacific heading out this way, but we're coming down this way to Mojave, and then we'll head on out to, like I said, out to the Searles yard. At which point, this train is double the length of the longest siding in the Searles yard. So we'll have to split this train up, and also get the locomotives on the end off, because they're the ones who are going to be responsible for dragging this train all the way out to Trona and start working out there and working the West End facilities and working not Trona, but Searles Mineral, and then the West End facility. They got West End and East End. East End is the bigger of the two. So to give you an idea, let me do something here real quick. I want to get on the ground. Okay, so all right, so this is the West End facility out in Searles Valley. Yep, it's typical Southern California. I couldn't imagine living out here. It would drive me nuts. There's like nothing to do other than work at this plant. So we have some cars that are going to be going in here. They'll be labeled SVMB, and which is B for borax. So this is a borax facility. We have another facility back here, P for potash. So same thing, SVMP. So we'll be doing dropping some covered hoppers here, dropping some covered hoppers here, get those started before we head off to the actual main facility, which is over here. And we'll be doing the same thing. We're going to be we will definitely pull in the balloon tracks over here and pull back out, and we'll be dropping cars. Now the interesting thing about these cars is that they're actually not sorted. They're coming in as they are. So really it might be this one. I might be going, now that I'm thinking about it, probably go from Yermo to Mojave, spend some time flat switching in Mojave to get them sorted by borax, which ones are going to be going for the borax, which ones are going to be going for potash. Then we'll bring them out. The interesting thing too is there's an engine shop here. So we might be doing some bad orders on cars and bad orders on engines, because there's a car repair shop. So we might be taking a look at, we have a problem with a car somewhere along the way, brakes hanging up, whatever it might be. They'll be getting worked on out here. We'll put it in the engine. We'll put it in the repair shop and have to probably manually turn it, but we'll take care of that. Something that I did do for the box cars is I went into the industry configuration and I added this track right here. So this is still Searles Valley Minerals, but this is a loading facility. Just to simulate maybe bagging up potash, bagging up borax. Instead of putting it in bulk, they're going to load them on pallets and put them in a box car. So we'll go. So this is going to be loading box cars here, and then we do have coming over here. We have, this is acid tank. You can see right here. So this is the acid tank car unloading over here. Coal dump over here. So eventually we'll be getting a lot of coal cars, and like I said, I want to let the I'm gonna let the simulator build the trains. I want to see how well it does. If it continues to give me the same thing over and over again, then there's a problem in there somewhere. And what I did, let's see if I can remember how to bring it up. Nope, I wanted to do. Oops, wait a minute. Okay, so AI trains menu, this is it. So, I need to change that. I should have been North Platte. Oh well, anyway, so it's YR is Yermo, MJ is Mojave. So Otto can route us down the right tracks and get us to Mojave. Once we're at Mojave, it'll be manually coming out here. It's not CTC controlled or whatever you want to call it. Otto has no control out here. So I went through, yes, DPUs, tagged for industries. I tagged at Searles Yard and TRC, which is Trona Rail Company. So those two will be getting me cars out there. I'm going to look at some others too. I think we might be able to throw some, there's another one out here, and I got to look it up because there's the United States Navy that's out here. And I got to figure out, I'll find out, I'll look it up and find out which local is part of that, because that's also worked by Trona as well too, because the United States Navy out here in Searles Valley has a proving ground for their munitions. So lots of explosions all over the place. Also, I thought I had this saved. I went high on the train priority because this will dictate how many locomotives, what your horsepower per ton is, and also I noticed that it's giving me a little bit longer train. I didn't go king of the rails, but I think I did on this one that I've got. I did go high priority. So let's go back up. So back here in Yermo, ignore the date because this train was spawned before I set the date forward. Anyway, this is so it's set. So right now it is set for today. It was raining. I'm glad it kind of stopped. But that's what I'm going to do. So this is going to probably be a series of, several videos, or so, several streams. I'll be going maybe from here to Mojave, do some flat switching in Mojave to get, to sort these out, and then take it on out to the Searles yard. There's just no room in the Searles yard to do any kind of flat switching. This train is pretty much going to take up the 3 tracks, and let alone give me room for the 6 locomotives that I'm also dragging out there that are going to be for the Trona Railway Company. So that's what I'm doing. Let's get started. So, other than that, all right, how's everybody doing? All right, I think we're running. We are running. Awesome. All right, let's get in here. Oh, I didn't relinquish my train. Hang on. Wrong train. These are not running, by the way. They are. I'm just dragging them. So, all right. Well, I'm going to turn off everything too. Now I'm thinking about it. Turn that off. Turn that off. And we don't need this for right now, so we can turn that off as well too. So here we go. I found it very interesting though too. I mean, that's when in the video for the rail fan for Trona, 6. That's why I chose 6, because they ran all 6 of their locomotives. And then I found others where they ran 2, they ran 4. I think it's based on the needs, because we already know, that there's a lot. The grade out there is pretty decent. So based on the needs, what they're taking to the Searles yard. Searles yard is the interchange for with Union Pacific. Why does it keep pushing me back here? I don't want. Oh, you know what? Never mind. No. Wait a minute. Why is it doing that? It's killing me, Smalls. There we go. There we go. All right. So let's see. I think we have our radio set. Channel 14, and the DTMF is 54. We're clear. That train's moving pretty fast. All right, cool. Let's take a look. So, channel 14. You know what? I just thought of something. I better check something here. I know I left these. Stop it. Set as lead yet. There we go. Now we're good. Yep. Let's do that again. Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm having to get I've been tied up. I have been, that messed auto up changing. So we'll do it again. Yeah, I've been tied up for the last week. You can hear it in my voice a little bit. I was in hospital for a bit. So, but I'm back. There we go. Request signal. Yeah, I heard you the first time. Okay. Yep, 8460. Okay, give me the... I already set the switches too, so we're good to go there. Proceed on signal indication. All right. There we go. What's up, Bob? Hey, thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. And I'm hoping that SP is for Southern Pacific, because I am a huge Southern Pacific fan, if that is. So I grew up watching. I'm going to date myself, but I grew up watching F. I think they were F. Well, they were definitely F units, running a local right by in the apartments that we lived in as a kid. We were up on a hill, and there was a tunnel that went through that hill, slightly off to the left side of the apartments. And I don't care what time of day or night, even at nighttime, I would hear that. I would hear those train coming. I'd get up out of bed just to watch it go by. So, but I do appreciate that. Thanks for watching my videos. I try to be as I learn new things, I try to be as informative as possible. My goal is to definitely help people out. Oh, I just realized there is no end of time. I didn't put an EOT device on this. Boy, I'm like just, you know what? I go away for like a week or two, and however long it's been, because I know I've been busy at work, and then I had the issue. Otto's going to scream at me, but I'm going to bring this thing to a stop. I'm going into full automatic here. Helps to stop if I throttle down. But I try to be as informative as possible. Just different things. I mean, it's a lot of people say it, and I've heard it said in other videos before I bought Run 8, and they're not wrong. There is a steep learning curve here in Run 8, but it's not too bad. I mean, I've spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos before I bought it. I continue to watch YouTube videos. Let's do auto into T. There we go. All right. Try it. He has not yelled at me yet. So as long as he doesn't yell, but I'm still coming out, so he's probably waiting for me, and we're still moving, and we're moving forward now. Here we go. Waiting for the little release to go through the trains. So I notch up. Here we go, and now we're moving forward, and we have an EOT device here. Good. That's perfect. All right. So yeah, the locomotives at the end, I'm just dragging them. I'm not yeah, they're not pushing, they're not DPUs. I just got the 2 units at the front. Oh, you know what oh man. You know what I forgot? 9.2? Oh, what? They're not running, are they? Wow, 9.2 horsepower per ton. They better not be running. I shut them down. Or I thought I shut them down. But these down here, they're isolated. I did isolate them unless... Well, I'm going to go with it. I'm definitely just going to go with it. I think we should be fine. But, oh. I think that was... Dude. So, alright. Something I'm investigating. I was reading something in the user guides, which I kind of wish that they would... Where's my track speed? 15. I'm speeding. I kind of wish that they would... I was going to go into dynamic. I am in dynamic, but I haven't even kicked it in yet because it's coming. I'm only 2 miles over the speed limit. And I'm decelerating according to accelerometer, but I'm looking at the downhill right here though too. This thing's going to start pushing me here in a minute. So, and I haven't been able to... I read it, and then I realized that the folder that I had the user guide in was an older folder, and so I updated everything that was in there to match, because I mean I had bought the new Pittsburgh line, and now I can't find the document. But at one time, I'm going to say it that way, at one time in the SD40 units, you could spawn different gear ratioed locomotives. And I found that it was it was almost like a page and a half article about how to figure out the gear ratios, what they do, and if you've got a train that's going to be long flat straightaway for miles and miles and miles, you go with, I believe it was the higher level gear ratio. It'll take longer to get up to speed, but once you're up to speed, it'll pull faster, and it's easier on the locomotive at that point. But if you're going up grades, like going over Mojave or Cajon, then you want to go to lower gear ratio, so you'll get up to speed faster, but you'll have more torque. And this whole article explained it. So I tried to play with it the other day. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the gear ratio to change. So I don't know if that's still a thing or if they took it out. All right, I'm technically still in the yard. You know what? And I'm slightly downhill. Apply the brakes. Because if I'm still in, I'm going to cut those engines out. Oh my gosh! I was around when SP was still using cab forwards out of Oakland. Oh my goodness! Not too long ago, when I took my trip to Reno, I went up and over the mountains. Before the train, I had like a couple hours to kill. I walked over to the Sacramento Railroad Museum, and they've got a cab forward sitting in there, and I love that thing. It's huge. Somewhere I've got on my camera. I gotta go get my camera out, but I think I got some pictures of it. So yeah, I'd like to see that thing run, be honest with you. But yeah, I'm a fan. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of SP, and yeah, that one it's an amazing, amazing locomotive. Okay, let's go to yeah, they are running, but it says stop, so we're gonna isolate. Isolate. I had isolated all these. So, I mean, but they're not running. None of them are, which I don't, but yeah, we'll isolate it out. And let's see. Yeah, we're back down to 3.1 horsepower per ton. I can live with that. Okay. Let's get going again. So you're a Bay Area kid too, Bob. That's awesome. I'm from the Bay Area. I was North Bay. When they were running out of Oakland, yeah, I lived in San Rafael. So if you're a Bay Area kid, you know where San Rafael's at. Just on the other side of the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. Hence the name. Let's see. They're still there, but yeah, they're isolated. All right. So we're going to try to see if we can make it. My goal is to try to make it. No broken couplers. No shenanigans of any type. I will try to hang with you guys. That's my goal, is to get to Mojave. I will definitely hang as long as I can, because there's pain. with what I just went through. So I did take a pain pill. So I'm good for a moment. Track speed 35. Let's get up to speed. I'm not paying attention to what the track speed is. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. 5 days. I'm counting down, guys. 5 days. Oops. Let's try it again. I hit the wrong key. I'm trying to get a screenshot. There we go. Let's do another one. All right. I'm not really in a hurry to get up to full speed of the track speed of 35 because I know when I come, like pretty soon I gotta drop it back down again because we'll be going through Barstow Yard. Also, let's see. I don't know if I get a call. The other thing too is if I get a call from my daughter, I will probably switch over because she called me yesterday. I was going to do some Run 8 yesterday, and she called just as I was setting things up, and I need help in Lord of the Rings Online, Dad. So, yep, I got to run to my daughter's rescue. So, still playing that. And I found out last night that there's a hardcore server coming out for the Lord of the Rings Online. And it's... I have to go back and do... I don't know if it's been out for a while or if it's just coming out. But they're setting it up so if you create a character, and if your character dies, that's it. You can't play that character anymore. It's done on the server. You might as well just delete it. And if you go back to where your character dies, there'll be a headstone there with your character's name on it, and it stays there, and they never go away. So if people start playing on the server, you're going to see headstones all over the place. But they're doing it. It's called Echoes of Angmar. And what they've done is they've taken the beginning part of that game, which was the Shadows of Angmar, which was released in 2007, with no updates, no fixes to graphics, just the game as it was when it first came out. And that's all they're going to do. They're just doing that portion of the game. And there's other things that they're doing to it as well. But yeah, it's I found that interesting. So I don't know if I don't know if my daughter and I are going to play that or not. I put that out to her last night. She was in bed asleep already when I sent her a text message and told her about it. And then I got about 6 o'clock this morning. I got ping as she was getting up to go to work, and all she said was "damn." So I don't know. And then of course October is right here around the corner, so I pulled them down, dusted them off, got my paranormal games ready to go. So we'll see some paranormal adventure. And there's a couple of them that, yeah, I just, nope, but I'll play them. Okay, I saw the whistle sign, but I didn't see the crossing. I must have missed it. Not too bad. Little yellow, little stress on the covers, but yellow to light yellow, that's not too bad. Got brakes are good. I didn't do a brake. That's the other thing. I was looking at that going, I didn't even do it. I didn't test my brakes. Like I said, I've been, gone for a couple weeks and that's it. I was early on the horn. But I saw another sign. That's the thing. Oh, Hank. How you doing, Hank? Welcome back. So, well, like I said, I've been gone for a couple weeks and I just feel like I'm off still a little bit. Alright, let's notch it down a little bit. So track speed's 35. I like to keep it between, about in that 5 mile per hour range underneath the track speed. That's my comfort zone right in there. So, yep, this is coming out of Yermo. I'm coming up to Barstow. So we're going to be running this train from Yermo to at least Mojave, hopefully. As long as the pain stays away. If the pain starts kicking in and I'm having trouble even reaching my arm up to the keyboard, then I'll pull into a siding and we'll park it there. So I already plan on this being a series. So this is episode 1, part 1. I like episode 1. And so this will be the road train of dragging the first of probably many trains to Trona. Oh, I'm exceeding the speed. Oh, it's track speed 50. I'm okay. I thought I was exceeding speed limit, but I'm going downhill. I need to pay attention to that. Yeah, I think I am. I mean, it does. I mean, I'm looking at the bandages and it's not bleeding anymore, so I'm good as far as that's concerned. There's things inside that need to just solidify, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throttle down a little bit. So yeah, it was kind of unexpected, and what hit at work. So yesterday I got released from the hospital yesterday, and yeah, I made a trip back to work. Just I had to apologize to people for scaring them, and they were, obviously they were nice. Just, hey, we're happy you're okay. So I'll be back to work on Monday, limited duty, but I'll be back to work. So, and that's the main thing. I gotta pay for that new video card that I'm gonna be buying after the 1st. So yeah, that's this coming weekend. New video card. And you guys, if you've been following my stream, the story on that one is that, I mean, my perspective here, I might even need a new monitor. I'm doing a little more research on that too. I think I just need a new monitor that's more geared toward gaming. Because I've got the anti-aliasing I've been fighting it, and I've got jaggies all over the screen, and the trees sparkle, and it's not just here in Run 8, it's also in other games that I play. Come on. Came down off the hill. Then should have sped up a little bit more, but we're alright, we'll get it. Hank, I don't know if you're like me, but you know what? Last Sunday, I was kind of missing Kung Fu Beer's stream, and then I saw that there was no stream, and I certainly hope his mom is doing well. I know he put out there that there's no stream because his mom isn't doing well. So my prayers and positive thoughts go toward him and his mom. I enjoy his streams. Although he is a Cowboys fan. And that'll be interesting. I should actually start teasing him now, sending him little messages and stuff, because let's see, this week I'm a 49er fan. This week, who we got? Oh, we got Arizona this week. No, we already played. We played on Thursday. So we won't be playing this Sunday, but next Sunday we have Arizona, and then the Sunday after that we have Dallas. And I think they're coming in. So be interesting. Yeah, nobody's perfect. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. That's a Cinderella story. That's just, even if he wasn't with the team this season, what he did last season was just, like come out of nowhere, and man, just amazing. He reminds me of kind of like a short Montana, because I remembered Montana. In fact, I was at the game when they were playing the Atlanta Falcons, and Steve DeBerg was the starting quarterback, and he was terrible. I just never was a fan of his. And the stadium just started chanting, "Put Montana in, put Montana in," and we were losing to the Falcons. They put Montana in on the second half, and he brought us back, and we beat them. And that's what I see. It's that same little Cinderella story, and especially for the guy that was taken dead last in the draft. You never know where the stars are going to come from. You can kind of hope, and I don't understand what they saw in Trey Lance. I really don't, and I'm not going to take anything with Trey Lance. He's playing in the NFL, so he's got to be good. But I just didn't see it. I didn't understand it. So, and then most of the people that I work with, they're Raiders fans, and they got Garoppolo. I just walk around giggling. I was hanging out with some of them when I forgot who the Raiders were playing, and Garoppolo took a hit to the head, and I'm just like, oh, he's dead. He's too fragile. He's dead. But same thing. He's playing at the NFL level, so he's good. He is good. He's got his moments. I just don't think, and maybe a Shanahan scheme. I don't know. And then one of the biggest concerns that I have with the 49ers are the number of injuries. And once again, I don't know if that's Shanahan's scheme or what, but the injuries are a little bit on the high side. I know, I get it, injuries are going to happen, but it just seems to be excessive with the 49ers. So I'm on the flat in the bed. Well, no, it's okay. It's going to be interesting pulling. We got a good long train. Oops, down there. Oh, bell's ringing. So, it goes all the way back there. And we got still 6 locomotives on the tail end that we're dragging out there to Trona. So I don't know if you guys were here with me when I was actually talking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But yep, brand new company running out there in Searles Valley. They put an order in with North Platte for cars, and then they purchased 6 old locomotives from Union Pacific, and that's what we're dragging out there. Yeah, we always think we have our teams have more than their fair share. Yeah, I do. I think you're right. Everybody thinks that. But there's some that I like. Okay, like Purdy's elbow injury. That honestly, I think that was a targeted shot. I mean, get it. Your job is on defense is to get to the quarterback and stop them. I get that, but I looked at that and I just like, you know what? It looked like he targeted that elbow. I don't know. Oh, you weren't here. Okay. So, as I started to say, so this project is the Trona Railway project. And so I am pretending that the new company, we'll just call it Lazy Farmer Minerals, has purchased Searles Valley Minerals. Well, we're just going to keep calling it Searles Valley Minerals at this point. Oh, I don't have my cheat sheet. What is yellow over green? Forget it. I'll just keep going. It's my railroad. What are they going to do? Yell at me? They probably will. Otto will. I know Otto will yell at me. But anyway, no. So Searles Valley Mineral, the old company out there, and I got all this. I'll back up again. I got all this because it started with me watching YouTube videos on Run 8. I'm always watching, trying to get ideas for different streams. What can I do? And I go back and I actually look at some of the older ones that were like from version 1, version 2. Maybe there's something I can bring up again and do it with version 3. And I came across an actual live railfan video of the railroad operations out there in Trona. And I was watching it, and wow, you know what? They're going from Searles Valley Minerals to the Searles Yard. They ran 6 locomotives. And I noticed in the video that a couple of them were tunnel motors. So I got red over flashing. I gotta get my cheat sheet. I don't know where it went. But anyway, so that led me to start considering Trona, which is really a DLC that I had never worked before. So I started considering doing that, and then I watched a couple of videos of somebody doing Trona, and I'm like, maybe this is something that I need to do, because it looks like it's very interesting on the switching side of things. So that led me to dive a little deeper into what Searles Valley was all about and what Trona is all about. And so Searles Valley is a dry lake bed or inland sea, actually, really. It's prehistoric, and so what they produce is borax and potash. Potash is a prime chemical in making of fertilizer. So that's the reason they're producing what they produce. Okay, now I know what they're doing. Then I dove in and I was thinking about that one video that, I saw older equipment. And in fact, all the videos I started watching, the live videos for Trona, it was all older equipment. So I did a search for Trona Railway roster, and it goes back to the beginning of the Trona Railway to modern days and what they ran, and and how long they ran it. So it has their purchase dates and the retirement dates. And they only purchased 1 locomotive brand new in the history of the railroad company. Everything else they've purchased is used. And currently, right now, they have 6 locomotives on roster. So yeah, that are 3 of them are tunnel motors, so SD40T-2s, and the other 3 are SD40-2s. And they were purchased in 2002, and they still have them on. There's no retirement date, so I'm assuming they still have them on the roster. So that's what I have on the back end of this train is 3 tunnel motors and 3 SD40s, and I am watching my speed. No, I know. You know, I think I've gone restricting, so I actually need to reduce my speed. But like I said, it's my railroad. I can break the rules. But thanks, Bob. I don't know where I had my light cheat sheet here, and I don't know where it went. So I'm looking around as I'm talking, so that's why. But I got you guys to remind me. Yeah, I'm trying to come off slowly here. But anyway, going back to that, so that's what I put on. I got 3 tunnel motors, 3 SD40-2s. And so this new company out there in Searles Valley that owns Searles Valley Minerals, they have no cars. They need empties to start because they're producing and they need to ship some of their product out. And then they have no motive power. So they bought these units from Union Pacific. So, and you'll see them later on. You'll see them if you will go back to the beginning of the thing. I've got some SP units that are, I have one SP unit, SD40-2, that is a Southern Pacific unit. The 2 tunnel motors are patched Southern Pacific units, and the rest are all Union Pacific units. So I know in the simulator they do have Trona units that are painted for Trona Railway, but yeah. So track speed's at 50. I'm doing 35 right now. I slowed down because I did get that light. So, uh-oh. That's a double red. I'm going to need to come to a stop. Can I come to a stop? Nope. Come on, I'm hitting the wrong keys. I'm panicking. I gotta get my rail driver too. I'm gonna get yelled at. Yep. I just got yelled at because I couldn't stop in time. That's what I get from monologuing. And Bob, you're right. I should have watched my speed. I should have slowed down a lot more. Which I think of the restricting, that was a restricting, which means I need to get down to 15 miles an hour, and I didn't. So that's why I blew past it. And then if I back up, I'll get that same yell again. So I'm going to take a look and see what we got going on. All right, so I'm here. This guy's coming in. I do need to back up because I need to take that. He's okay. I probably could go this way, but I think he wanted me to go that way. All right, let's back up. Gotta come off of. I'm doing everything by keyboard too, so that didn't help. I went into panic mode. Yeah. He counts on my running. Of course he would. I mean, that's what I would expect. It. Nothing less. Listen, what is a video unless you break a coupler, blow a light, derail? If it's a perfect video and things go fine, it's boring. There's a train that's coming in. Yeah, I am actually doing very busy. I loaded up the very busy Barstow, Southern California. So there'll be a lot of trains. Ooh. This could have been bad if I, yeah, that could have been bad. Okay. I was making sure he was going to go down that track on the side over there. Okay. Let's tone up. Yeah. UP8460. Got it. Okay. Thanks again, Bob. If I didn't say that before, thanks again. You warned me. I did not heed your warning. So, actually, while I'm waiting for the light. So, these are the units. Old UP tunnel motors, SD40 patched Southern Pacific tunnel motor, or SD40, and another patched Southern Pacific. So 3 tunnels, 3 SD40s. So, yep, that's what we're dragging out there. That's the motive power for that'll be going on out there for the Trona Railway. Thinking about putting this particular about putting this on another hard drive and starting as if I have no DLCs. Toying with that idea. Nothing yet. Got it. Here's my green. All right. Why are we not? My arm already in forward. Duh. Come on. There we go. Slowly moving. To what end? Okay. Just because one, I wanted content, and two, I'm simulating pretty much exactly. I mean, I could have taken this train, spawned it down there in the Searles yard, and then run it out there. But it's just for content, is what I'm doing. I want to mix. I prefer doing switching as opposed. I don't mind road trains. I really don't. I mean, I do try to mix some road trains in there. Um, and with the what I was doing with my virtual air quotes virtual model railroad on the NorCal route, pretty much all I was just sending AI. That's it. And I still might just anything future as far as road trains will be an AI train going from here to Mojave. Um, but this is just content is what I'm doing it for, and this is what you would see. And then it probably, I don't know. I mean, if a new industry like this opens up and they're calling, hey, we need rail cars, they're going to contract with a provider, which would be an SF, UP, whoever, and those cars are going to make it somehow. They'll get routed to that industry, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to show here. And I screwed up in the tag. I put the tag as Yermo. It should have actually been North Platte, because North Platte is the main yard for Union Pacific. So that way it would have actually simulated this train coming in had come into Yermo and was waiting for the next crew to take it to at least Mojave or farther on down the line. So I hope that answers your question there, Hank. But yeah, pretty much it's going to, I mean, the next one might just be, like I said, I'll spawn the train and let it go about its way, and then once it gets to Mojave, then I'll drive it from Mojave to the Searles yard, and that's probably going to be a stream in itself right there, because that's good. I think it's a good. I mean, and then from Searles yard to Trona, Searles yard to the mineral, to Valley Mineral, that's a 30-mile run. Oh, I misunderstood. Well, I was doing this. Okay. Because what I want to do is I want to set it up on a second hard drive. In other words, I don't want to ruin what I've got going right here. But by reinstalling, or not reinstalling, but installing the simulator again on another hard drive, I could, create a long, basically create a shortcut to launch that. And with that coming up, people would see what the game looks like with no DLCs, what you get. And that's ultimately my goal. My ultimate goal is I want to bring people to the simulator. And so to that end, I want to say, okay, this is what you buy the base game. This is what you get. Okay, do you need every DLC that they have? No, you can spend a lot of time with just Needles, Barstow, and the Mojave sub. And you can get your feet wet doing, because the locals aren't. A lot of driving, but they're not hard to switch. So, and then later on, okay, hey, I'm going. You know what? I want to add the Cajon sub. This is how you add the Cajon sub. And these are all, like this car here. This is a Run 8 boxcar. Well, it actually represents a tanker. This Run 8 boxcar represents an auto rack, or a high cube boxcar, or whatever, whatever it might be. But it says Run 8 on the side. Don't worry about that. And I really want people to understand that just because everything says Run 8 and it all looks the same, the simulator will treat it as what it is really meant to be. And then I could create a series. This is how, you go about adding DLCs. This is what it looks like. There's been a few, let me see here. Nope, I don't want that one. I want this one. So I've caught a few past videos from people, like everything here is light blue. What does light blue mean? Like I've got this is a perfect example. Everything light blue are DLCs that I own. All right. These, of course, I just went out. Come on. The ones that are grayed out are ones that I don't own. So if I were to spawn that caboose it would spawn as a Run 8 boxcar, but it would still be considered in the simulator a caboose or shoving platform. All right, so we're now on BNSF tracks. We do have the track rights to be out here. So we come over here. Here we are at Hinckley. This green right is here is me. This is me as well. You can see Kurt H. There I am. Yep, the lazy farmer. I'm also known as Kurt H. So if you do come over to the Mateo server, or I haven't been there in a long time, the Depot Plus public server for multiplayer, I'm on them both as Kurt H. That's me. So slight uphill. Got a 0.15% uphill climb, so better start notching up, or I'm going to be behind. I'm actually technically already behind the 8 ball because it's 40 mile an hour. I'm really trying to be patient as well too. Like I said, the first thing on my purchase list is a new video card. I want better video quality for the simulator, not just for myself, but for you guys. The next item on that list is a rail driver. But okay, because I mean, here's what I'm running into. Number one, I've listened to some content providers talk about their rail drivers and some issues that they're having with their rail drivers. I've watched some of them actually fight with their rail drivers and trying to get them calibrated correctly. Others say that they're the controls are very sloppy, but there's ways to resolve that. And so that makes me hesitant, because I mean, if I'm going to drop like $200 for a rail driver, I don't want it to be sloppy. I don't want it to have. I don't want to have a hard time calibrating it. But then those same content providers, very few and far between do they complain about their rail driver. So I started noticing that, hey, there was only one video or two videos that they've done they complain about. The rest of the time, hey, I love it, I use it, it's great, get one. Okay, maybe. So is it a necessity? No, it's definitely a want. For, like I said, for the quality of the content, and it's also time to upgrade the video card. My video card's like 6 years old, so it's time to upgrade that. Like I said, and all it's going to do is it's going to improve. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I'm running a Radeon right now. I will never run a Radeon again, and that's too bad, because way back in the day, that's all I ran was Radeon. But that was before AMD bought them. So the new card's going to be an RTX 3070. I think is what I'm looking at. I've got it in. I go to PC Part Picker. So I put my motherboard in and all the other components, and then I put the video card in and see what matches up. And I use that. They've got a great little algorithm that they use to, when you plug in a new component. Oh, that hurt. When you plug in a new component, is it going to match up with your system, or is there going to be an issue? So, and it's not coming back with an issue, so I should be able just to put the new card in and be good to go. Considered also upgrading the processor. Although a lot of the games that I played are not processor heavy. So I did, when I built this system, I did go budget, and I got an i3. My motherboard can handle an i9 9700, I believe, 9700K. So let's get to see if we can jump up to speed here. I don't want to do that too fast. So that one processor is not really a necessity as far as my streams are concerned. The video card is. I use OBS for streaming, and I do have OBS set to basically process everything through the video card and not through the processor. So my processor is like, you know, I mean, I'm like using on my CPU right now with the game and streaming and everything, I'm using like 0.5% of my CPU power. So I'm not really worried about it. And I've dropped no frames. Not bad for doing it wirelessly. So oops. Oh wait, 55. That's right. We are 55. So if you've never, or if you're thinking about buying Run 8, I will put in the description. And on my page, I already have a link to Run 8 Studios. I also have a link to Depot Plus server, so you can get in there and look at their resources. They have the maps and the references. I also tend to grab their configuration files and install those. Whenever they come out with a new one, I always update that so it changes, and that's for all the industries and everything, and they do it for all. That one file will cover all DLCs. Oh, a little early on that one. Pull over for a little time here. All right. What are we pulling, by the way? Let's take a look. 70 empties. 6 loads. Just under 3,000 tons. 5,078 feet. So, and I think that includes the 6 locomotives on the back end of this thing. So even without those locomotives, we're about 4,000 feet, and the longest sighting at Searles Yard is like 2,800 feet. So good boy, you stopped. I know he thought about running that light. I know he did. I could see it in his eyes. Sun's starting to set. Ooh. Is it really? Is it 6:02 already? That can't be right. It is. You know what? I'm gonna grab some water. So. Yep, I got up. I walked away from the controls. Shame on me. Oh, my conductor's just sitting over there staring out the front window, so I mean, can't ask him to go get it. Ignore the -10 at the end of the tag there. So manifest Yermo to Mojave, but I forgot to bring the time forward when I spawned the train, so that's what the 10 is. Yeah, it's been sitting there since, actually, when I brought the time forward, it was January 10th, so it's been sitting in that yard since January 10th. I think we might be a little bit late. All right. Look at that. Ooh. Like no pressure on the couplers at all. Nothing. Almost very, just lightly yellow right there. Cursor is different than what you get with the server, by the way. This is a little program off of Steam called Yellow Mouse. You can change cursor, change the color, change the size. I went with that just because, I mean, the one that comes, it's a basic cursor that comes with the simulator, and I know when I looked at my streams that it was kind of hard to see my cursor, so I did that so it'd be easier for you guys to see what I'm pointing at, what I'm looking at. Is it at 55,000 pounds on the coupler? Wow, 54, like almost nothing. Oh, we're going downhill right now. Track speed 55. Oh, we're okay. A little bit slower. I could probably. Well, we're gonna pick up some speed because we're going downhill. So you have to keep an eye on that. How long have I been streaming for tonight? 1 hour and 27 minutes. All right. Well, it's okay. Sitting here, got my water, got the armrest down, just kicking back. 1 foot up on the dash, the other foot on the dead man switch. Actually, there is no dead man switch. Looking good. Alright, here, I gotta watch my speed. He hasn't cleared me. Okay, I got a train coming. Oh, I got a train ahead of me, but he's going away from me, so that's alright. But, alright, let's, and this time, Bob, I will watch my speed. In fact, I'm gonna start throttling off. I'm climbing up to 50. I'm at 55 track speed. I'm at 53, so notch down a couple notches. This right here is when you get the base game and you're coming out of Barstow. This is the route you're going to take. I'm not sure the local number, but you run cars out to Boron, which is right here, and there is another. It's a borax plant, and they want acid cars, covered hoppers, and boxcars, I believe. And so it's kind of a fun. Definitely something that, yeah, you're right, Hank, that is what the alerter is for. Because they used to, what I heard, the story I heard was that they used to like take and put a toolbox or backpack, cooler or something on that switch so they could get up and walk away. Oh, I did? Thanks, Bob. I didn't see that. Got a yellow, though, right there. I got a green right there, so... I think that's why I'm not comfortable going to the Depot Plus server yet. Um, every time I read their guidelines for to get over there, it just seems a bit daunting. The Mateo server is a lot of fun. Pretty casual. It's a good community over there. Yep, I made a train disappear one time, and I did not get yelled at. They're like, "Oh, what'd you have? Oh, I know which one you had. I can fix that for you," and they just fixed it. All right. Who's coming in behind me? We got a BNSF behind me. He's putting him into the siding. Now, in real life, I wouldn't see the dispatching screen. I'd be up around close to 55 miles an hour. Oh. Oh, that was before you passed the red in Barstow. Got it, yeah. That was a train that was that auto rack that was coming in. So, because that track that I went out on and the track that he came in, they all go through this. They both of them went through the same switch. So yeah, that's the route that I think he wanted me to take. Now there was another way I could have gone, but that's the more efficient way. Skip to full speed here. I got almost half a percent uphill climb here. So why is he doing? Oh, no, maybe that train's catching up to me. I'm surprised he hasn't put me into, because I can fit into Jim Gray. I can fit into Boron as well too. I'm surprised he isn't putting me into Jim Gray and making me wait for that train to pass me. Well, that's okay. If he's not going to do that, I'm going to keep going. See, you don't have to be an expert to play the simulator. You just have to enjoy it. I need to get over onto Mateo. I haven't been there for about a month, to be honest with you. Oops, that was supposed to be a short one. 2 longs and a short and a long, dummy. Come on. But I am the kind of person, though, I like to dive into. I see things on other people's stream, and it makes me go, I wonder, and I start looking up stuff, and there was somebody that was.
BNSF detector milepost 766.0.
That's me. Anyway, there was that they were kicking cars. And they raised the question, they said, I'm not a professional railroad. I'm not even know if I'm supposed to even be doing this. So that made me go, And I started looking up stuff, and I actually started reading through Federal Railroad Administration documents. And there was a document in there about that was instructing the railroads to come up with safety procedures to prevent fatalities. And it was based off of a case where there were cars that were on a track that were not, the handbrakes had not been set, and the conductor assumed that they were set, and So the engineer and the conductor, they kicked some cars onto that track, and as the cars were rolling down, with the conductor thinking that when those cars rolled down and hit that first cut of cars in there, they would, couplers would connect and they'd stay. Well, he went between the cars. He didn't tell the engineer to to go 3-step, and then he wasn't paying attention on the cars that were rolling. They hit the first cut, which caused the first cut to break loose, and they rolled back on the conductor and killed him. So I look at that, and that's just where my brain goes. Is it illegal to kick cars? It's not. That you have to have safety procedures in place. So in that case there, they had cited that that conductor should have went down and looked at that first set of cars to make sure the handbrakes were set, and if they weren't set, to set them, and then go ahead and start kicking their cars. So interesting. That's just where my head goes. And yeah, I did that when I was laying in the hospital. I was bored. So based on the amount of time and where I'm located, well, I don't know. Well, we'll see if he makes me, because that BNSF behind me is catching up to me. Ooh, look at the lean. There's little things I like about this also too. Double yellow, approaching medium double yellow signal, BNS 7746. That's the one that's behind me. I'm just going to put him into Hinckley and make him wait on me. Look at all the trees. Gauge lights on and stuff as well too. Alright. I think I have the order. Let's see. Oh, realistic. Yeah, I have the realistic alerter time turned off. So I think if I have it turned on again, it would actually be a lot less of an interval between the time if I'm not making any changes or anything. Because that's what it's based off of. If I'm not, if I don't hit the horn, if I don't turn the bells on or off. Don't click the yeah, I just drew a blank. Throttle. Anything, then it starts counting down. So I turned that off because I found it to be annoying. So it's a longer interval, but it'll still go off. Half a percent. Not doing too bad. We're slowing down. Let's notch back up again. An SD70? Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, EMD, General Electric. Something I do want to drill down more on, and I don't know if there's anything I can do to change it, but like this train here, I was actually hoping for when I went to spawn it, and it's based off of the industries that I selected, that I was expecting it to be a more varied consist, but it's mostly all covered hoppers. Got a few acid cars in here, and that's, and then some box cars, but not as much as I was hoping for. So, and a lot of these, some of these hoppers are, and it's intermixed, some of them are for borax, some of them are for potash, so that's why when we get to Mojave, we're going to do some flat switching and kind of gather everything together, and so when we take it out to Trona, it'll actually be a little bit easier for Trona Railway, because they just don't have any place to do this. I mean, they don't have that big of a yard. Well, they do, actually. They got the balloon tracks, but they're just dragging their power units. Ooh, notch 8, and down to 37. Yeah, 0.6% grade, uphill grade here. So, well, the sounds of the locomotive sound throaty. I did put that the Jibo enhancement on, but this is an SD70 up here. The Jibo enhancement only would actually affect the 44 that's behind us. But I do like the sound of it. You can stand next to it and it's just idling and it's missing, and yeah. Alright, where are we? He is like right on top of me. Look at this. This is me. I still have yet to get to Jim Gray. And that train came out of, he's already out of Hinckley. I don't know why Otto put him in Hinckley, but he did. This is Jim Gray right here. I'm really surprised he's not sticking me in there. Then the other thing too is using the very busy configuration. I can't go and pre-set up the Mojave yard and then turn around and AI this train, because it would jam the traffic up. I would create an auto jam. Alright. Downhill grade a little bit, picking speed back up again. Maybe the other train will just come up behind me and latch on and start pushing me. Yeah. He's coming to a stop right there. That light dropped. had a little dip right there, and we're back up again. But I think the cars behind me are starting going through that dip, so they're still kind of pushing me. I'm just going to stay in 8 right now, and I may end up exceeding the speed a little bit, but that's okay, because it's going to be going back up the hill, and they're going to start pulling me back, so it'll start bleeding off speed. You look at the accelerometer, I'm down to 0, now -1, so it's already starting to happen. How's coupler tension? Couplers are fine. Next, Silt, Edwards, Bissell, Sanborn, and then after Sanborn we'll be in the Mojave. So if I make Mojave in, I'll say next hour and 15 minutes, because I'm like 1 hour and 48 minutes in the stream already. So if I say next hour and 15 minutes if I make Mojave, then that's where I will stop. But if I don't, at the 3-hour mark, I'm going to pull into the next sighting and tire down there, and we'll pick this up again on the next stream. But right now I'm going to keep going. I've got 1 hour and 15 minutes left, so we're good. And I think we're pretty good. I mean, as long as we don't hit any like massive, I can't remember. I don't think it is. I think it's pretty, well, we got, you know, maybe 1% grades here and there, but I think it's pretty flat all the way into Mojave. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Mojave is that's a Union Pacific yard. So once we get through Sanborn and come on out, it will be off of BNSF track back onto the UP network. Not bad. We're on the flat though. Yeah, okay, auto held up that BNSF train. HDN-SWA. G is a grain, I think a grain train. HDN-SWA, I'm not sure what that is. Let's get that, uh-oh. D. I know, this just turned pink right here. So. So what's next? What would everybody like to see? Another question for you guys. I mean, Run 8 just came out with Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line, which is interesting. I've been looking at that one too. That's a whole. I like the fact that there's a good variety. Um, Learning how different Class 1 railroads tag their trains, and in that particular DLC, I mean, you have Norfolk Southern Main Line and yards, but all your locals are run by like little short line railroads, is what it seems like. Um, so no Norfolk Southern locals, but as an example, there's R.J. Corman. That's the first one. That's the only one that comes to my mind. But that's how the locals are run, and they've got a lot of it's interesting operations on that one. A lot of it. And I didn't do it on a stream, but I did run a road train from one end to the other, and I think it took me like just a little over 2 hours, to go up and around through the horseshoe curve and then back out the other side and off the map. So 60 miles of mainline track, and you read that, and I'm like, really? Seems kind of short to me. But then when you look at how, the car facility that's there in the Rose Yard, and you've got, operating turntable, operating sliding table, car repair facility, all the different short lines that are involved. It's actually it's very interesting, very interesting. Of course, horseshoe curve, like, the Tehachapi Loop, it's here in California, those are iconic spots in railroad. So I understand why I did it. I understand why I did NorCal as well too, because that's history. That's the way they cut those tracks over the Sierra Mountains. History. I understand. What I would personally like to see is, and I've mentioned this before, is that they actually come up with another DLC, Stockton subdivision, that would connect Southern California to the Northern California map. You can look it up. I think that's the only one that's between, because Southern California, when you come up that area, it ends at Calwa, which is in Fresno, California, or just north of Fresno. And then from there on, it's the Stockton subdivision goes up through the town of Stockton, and then connects to the Roseville subdivision, which goes up and over the Sierra Mountains. That would be nice because it's Union Pacific. BNSF has track rights there, but like in the town I live in, I'm in that subdivision. So yeah, I'd like to see it. This town here, Union Pacific, is on the east side. BNSF is on the west side. What we got going on here? Why do we have a flashing yellow? Interesting. I need my cheat sheet. Bob, what's flashing yellow over red? What, NorCal? That's that's that trip I took a couple months ago, or maybe about a month ago. I think it was, actually it would have been July. So 2 months ago, before I ended up going back to work because we're on summer break. Yeah, I took that. I took the train from here to Sacramento. Like I said, I walked over to the Sacramento Railroad Museum, and they've got that Southern Pacific cab forward sitting in there. Plus, they have one of the locomotives that was part of the Central Pacific Railroad sitting in there. If you ever make it out to California and go to Sacramento, Old Town Sacramento, a lot of history right there. That was the final stop of the Pony Express. Is right there. So, and some of the older buildings are still standing from the old Central Pacific days and the Southern Pacific days. So, Oh, Pittsburgh. You've been playing Pittsburgh. Yeah, no, Pittsburgh's. Yeah, I mean, I find it very interesting. Um, and with, approach medium, do not exceed 40 miles an hour. Okay, well, I'm exceeding 40 miles an hour. You know what? This guy right here, that's SP Bob. That's SP Bob right there. That's my name for him now. That's SP Bob. So, yeah, so whoa, 0.5%. No, I'm picking up speed. Let me notch down here. I got green, so I'm good. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, and I just loaded it up. Another one I loaded up that I haven't really been on. I think I drove the road train just to check it out to see what it looks like. Is the Selkirk, Mohawk and Selkirk subdivisions. That seems to be really, it has a lot of good potential as well. And that's why I have that, the poll up on my channel. I mean, what would you guys, if I moved away from the northern NorCal, what should I move to and start my virtual model railroad on? And for about a minute, it was tied between SoCal and Mohawk Selkirk. But that has since changed, and I haven't looked at it. I got to look at the poll results. I'll let it run through October. And we'll see. And if there's a tiebreaker, I am the tiebreaker. There's the U-turn. SoCal's pretty straightforward. I mean, even, so, if Union Pacific uses two letter codes, BNSF uses 3 letter codes, you can figure it out. CSX okay, K trains, Q trains, I get what those stand for, but the numbering system, this is the part that confuses me, is like, are they just random numbers? What does it mean? And I think with CSX, a lot of times if you have that 3-digit number, the first number indicates, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it indicates where the train is coming from. So, but there's nothing, I haven't really seen anything on the Depot, on the Depot Plus server. I haven't seen anything on anywhere else. Okay, we're on the flat. Let's see. Nope. Train is pushing me a little bit. I'm monologuing again. Bleed some of this off. Passing Edwards Air Force Base. You know what? They could at least put an airstrip in and run 8 with a plane taking off now and then. That would have been pretty cool. No, it's just one building. But I get it. It's not about the scenery. It's about the physics of the physics of the simulator. And the operations. But part of me, if I move away from NorCal for my virtual model railroad, part of me was like, okay, I could have just made the move and gone somewhere where nobody else is. And like right now, I feel like everybody's on the Pittsburgh line right now because it's brand new. And of course, you've got not to exceed 40. Okay. Hey, look, Bob, I remembered. You just made my pull a tie again. Awesome! Oh, I am slowing down at least. I don't think I have anybody that far that's that close in front of me. No, I got nobody. The other train left. He's up here already. This is me right here. He's got me all the way. Oh wait, no, I'm passing through silt. I thought I was passing through Edwards. I'm passing through silt. I was ahead of my game here. I know what I was looking at. That was at North American. Was an industry there? North American metal or no, or something. North American mining or something like that. Okay, I'll have to look at that and see where we're at. Don't tell me yet, Hank. Don't tell me. I'll take a look and see.
BNSF detector milepost 788.0.
It does crack me up though when I'm around down in if I'm playing on the CSX lines down there. You know, Fitz, Waycross, and oh, I just drew a blank on the other one. On those three down there, it always cracks me up when I see a cop car and it's a CHP car. Must mean that Gavin Newsom's running around trying to go for, run for president. We got a green light. Okay, coming off of Dynamics. I'll let gravity take it. And right into the sun.
BNSF detector milepost 788.0. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle 352. Train speed 44 mph. Ambient temperature 92 degrees. Out.
Yeah. You said no defects. Is it bad that I was kind of hoping for a defect? Got a green light way up there. Where do you live? I live in Silt. I'm sorry, but what town do you live in? Oh. Do not look directly at the sun. Too late. Can't move this. Put the visor up. Oh, they have transition lenses on the windscreen. Bad for your eyeballs, that mate. Hey, how you doing, FKL? It's actually kind of pretty cool. Actually, really, look at that. It's pretty cool. There you go. Grab a screenshot of that. That's the sun setting on my career as an engineer. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm hanging in there. So, yep. Got out of the hospital yesterday. Got a little bit of pain right now, but it's ignorable. So, we're just going to keep pushing on through, because pain don't hurt. How long is my train? Right there. I have just under 3,000 tons, 352 axles, 70 empty, 6 loads. Total length is 5,078. So if you're just joining us, this is the beginning, the first in a series of videos. This is the Trona Railway project. So I'm basically I'm pretending that out in Searles Valley, we have here. I'll do this right now too, so you can see the train. Whoa! I got hit by the train. But anyway, the chemical company out there in Searles Valley, the company had shut down. They sold it. New company took over. There's no rolling stock out there whatsoever. So that new company has placed an order with Union Pacific for they need cars so they can start shipping product, and they have no motive power. So they purchased the motive power as well. So that's what's on the back end of this train. This is, I actually re-tagged it wrong. I have it tagged from Yermo to Mojave is where I'm going right now. So Auto can route us that way. But I should have actually did it North Platte because that's the main yard for Union Pacific. And have it, so that's what's going on right now. This train is heading, will eventually end up out there in Searles Valley. It's heading for Mojave first. Probably do some flat switching to sort the cars. There's the motive power for Trona Railway. And, oh, here we are again. Looking up in the distance, got that flashing yellow, so let's go ahead and come off of it. So this is the first phase, yeah. So if I can get to, I'm open tonight to end the stream at the Mojave yard, and then we'll end up running it out to the Searles yard, which is the end of the Union Pacific line, and in the small little interchange yard between Union Pacific and Trona Railway. We'll drop the cars, park the road trains, and leave them there for anything that needs to go back. And then we'll use the power for Trona and pull that stuff out there to the Searles. We got the West End Searles Valley Minerals West End needs cars, and then the main yard needs cars out there. Yeah, in Liverpool we don't have trains as long as that. Hey, well, I'm hoping you're having to see Liverpool. Got to be about 8 hours ahead of me. I'm in California, so yeah, we're slowing down. We'll be good. I might be a little bit over by the time I hit that light, but we'll be down to 40 miles an hour here. I'm down to 43. I love the United Kingdom over there. That was my honeymoon when we got married. London, Paris, which we only spent 3 days in Paris. but the majority of the time was spent in London and Edinburgh. And just, we made friends. I mean, wherever we go, we made friends. But I have to admit, I never thought I'd ever stand underneath the Eiffel Tower, let alone go to the top of it. And then was surprised to see that at the top of the Eiffel Tower was a little wax museum dedicated to Thomas Edison. So, like, that just blew my mind. The whole trip blew my mind. First time I've ever been to Europe. So, yeah, early here at the moment. Have to go Betty Bo. Oh yeah, wow, yeah. So you got to be, if you're 8 hours, I think 8 hours depending on our time change. So 2 o'clock in the morning, your time. Am I guessing right? 2 o'clock. Oh, let's notch it up a bit. So I can't tell if that's green or if that's another flashing yellow right there. Yep, 249. What? Wait, 249 already? 650. Oh, that was 50 minutes that went by. Sorry, I got a text message. Our air conditioning is out here, and the guy's been waiting for a part all day, and it just came in. So. Okay. Oh, green, so I can start notching back up again, and let's see. Yeah, I'm uphill, so I'm going to be losing, so I better get to notch it back up here pretty quick. So London is too big in my opinion, and Liverpool, walk from one side of the city to the other in about 3 hours. Oh, that's not, yeah, see, you know, you're kind of like me. I mean, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and mind you, when I was a kid, and I'm dating myself here, I was in high school, and I went and saw Kiss and Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick opened for Kiss, and that was the day Elvis died. So even before high school, where I grew up, I mean, there was nothing up in the hills. I used to go hike the hills all the time. I could grab my BB gun, go hunt lizards and squirrels and things like that. Now you go there and it's nothing but houses, you know, and you really can't tell where one town stops and the next one starts. And back in the day, from where we used to live, we could drive from our house and be in San Francisco in like 20 minutes. Now, no matter what time of day or night, if I left that house and drive to San Francisco today, it would take me 3 to 4 hours to get there because just traffic is terrible. So I get you. I feel you. I mean, I don't, you know, big towns just aren't me, man. I'd rather have a small town. So yeah, even at, you know, 10 mile, if you have a 10-mile radius, yeah, you're still looking at a good number of people. But yeah, I get what you're saying. There's the Edwards Power Pool. This is Edwards Air Force Base. Out there, over there. You can kind of see as we pass through. That's the one and only building that represents Edwards Air Force Base. So, which is fine. I mean, you just back some boxcars into it, and that's enough. So, and I get that's what Run 8's all about. It's not the scenery. It's the trains. It's the operation, and it's the physics that are second to none. I did spend some time looking at another train simulator because I'm always interested in it. I mean, I like Derail Valley, um, and it was close to what I was looking for. I wanted something to kind of simulate the model railroad I used to have as a kid, and that's another story too. But Derail Valley kind of had that, especially with their little contracts that you can take, but they added in the economic side of things. You had to make money in order to advance your licenses and everything, and so it kind of met that need, but not really. So let's see, the UK was more developed than a lot of American. We have hardly any untouched land, but I still have a forest behind my house that was converted from being a landfill. Oh, okay. So it was a landfill site, and they converted it into a forest. That's nice. What's up, goat? How you doing? And we have loads of farmer fields. 3-minute walk from my house. See, yeah, that's okay. The other simulator I play is Farm Sim. I haven't played in a while though, but Farm Sim 22, I have that. And I have to admit, I think I like the UK maps better than the American maps, especially for a solo play. The fields tend to be a little bit smaller. In the American maps, you got bigger field. We have a lot bigger fields, and so if you have multiple people that can come help you, that's okay. But yeah, no, I like. It's almost like having that little individual hobby farm. So. Trains 19 is intended to be a Trains 19. I'll have to take a look at that one. But I guess the point I was going to try to get to, I'm at notch 8, and I'm 6% grade. So holding flat steady, but yeah, I'm not going to kick those engines on in the back. Like I said, I'm just pulling those. They weren't running, but they were set to run. I didn't fire them up, and that gave me like a horsepower per ton of 9. No, I'm not going to run that. So this is a little much. This is 3 horsepower per ton. But I think if we had knocked it down to 1.5, we'd be struggling. So, the fields near my house remind me of the rice fields that you might see in Japan. Very flat around here. See, we had where I lived up and around Sacramento, we had rice fields up there as well too. So I get what you're saying there. It was very common. In fact, when I drove from Sacramento to Woodland, which is kind of northwest of Sacramento, we had to go over a causeway they would flood that, and those were rice fields. Hated it because we just get like little balls of gnats flying over the freeway, and it's like every night I get home and I'd have to scrub the windshield just so I could see the next morning to go to work. And do the same thing, get to work and have to take time to scrub the windshield so I can see to go home. It was, but I like rice, so whatever. Anyway, the point I was going to get to, I'll look at trains. I'll look at anything. But this got close. And this is with the way the industries, you approach the industries here in Run 8, in a model railroad, if you're familiar with the car card system, they've modeled that, and not intentionally. I don't think that was done intentionally, but they modeled that here in Run 8. So you get a car. The car is tagged for a certain industry. So it gets on a road train, goes to a yard, gets separated out to a local. All cars that are part of that local get tagged, get tied to that locomotive that's for that local. And then the cars go to the industry, and they sit at the industry. They get turned. And then you pick it up, bring it back to the yard, and then they go off to wherever they need to go to. That is simulated in that car card system, where you have a manila card that has a slip of paper in it, and that card represents the car, and then the paper you would just flip around as the car is delivered. You in the next operating session you would take that piece of paper out and flip it over, and then now the car is being worked, so it's going to sit there for another operating session. Next one you flip it again. Now you're going to pick it up, take it to the yard, and then you flip it again the fourth and last time, and then that tells you where that car needs to go, and it's either going to go off, off track or off map in this game. So that's what they've kind of modeled with the way the industries work here. And that's why when I do Northern California, I say this is my virtual model railroad. That's the closest thing that I've seen, and there's no scenarios. I look at SimRail, which is European railroad, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. But as I was watching, they were introducing it, and they're talking about it. They actually use the word in this scenario. I don't want scenarios. I want to be like it's a sandbox like this. I had a choice. I could either do a road train, which I'm doing for the Trona project, or I could just build the train and put it out there and start working it. But where's the fun in that? Let me get caught up on text here. So trains 19 is in 10. Yeah, the field's in the house. Good night, all. This old fella has to go to bed. Night, Hank. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll catch you next time. Trains is good for route building. Don't let the Betty bugs bite. Yeah, no kidding. They aren't rice fields. We could grow rice here, though. Oh, they aren't rice fields. Too chilly. Gotcha. Yeah, no. Out here in Central Valley of California, you look at a map of California, you see that green. That's the San Joaquin Valley. Yeah, not uncommon. In fact, we didn't get to it this year. They was talking global warming, but honestly, we had a few days of triple digit, and that's in Fahrenheit. So I'm not going to do the conversion. But we were like 104, 106. I think maybe one day we were 108, and that's not as hot as we got. It's not uncommon during the summer to actually hit like 115, 118 here. But we didn't. And so yeah, they were talking global warming, but wait, this was actually kind of a mild summer. And then of course they got the El Niños is already activated, so they're expecting another extremely wet winter, which we had last winter. Just like nonstop rain, and yeah, it was pretty bad. Liverpool had the first fully fledged railroad in the world, and I have been down in the abandoned tunnels where that was. It is on my YouTube channel if you want to have a look. I'll take a look at it. I have no problem with that. I'll be interested in looking at that. I would just call it the Tube channel. Of course, I was fascinated by that when I was in London. Just, Mind the Gap. That was pretty cool. I like that. I was like, Mind the Gap. And then it was like, depending on which level you're on, you could tell which level you're on by what type of, cars you had. Some were on, you had rubber wheeled cars, and some were ran on rails. It was pretty cool. I just, like I said, I really thoroughly enjoyed being out there. It was a lot of fun. So I always recommend it. If anybody has a chance to get over to Great Britain, go to London, man. It is an absolute blast. And I have to admit, I never actually ever in my life thought I would stand, at Big Ben and be like, wow, actually seeing it in real life. So I think that's probably a very close 1-2, to be honest with you, in terms of vacations. I've been all over the world on vacation, and I've had some great vacations, but the two top ones were my honeymoon, London, like I said, London, Paris, Edinburgh, and then my wife and I, we spent 2 weeks in New Zealand. Two phenomenal, of course, British Commonwealth, why not? So two phenomenal. Those were the two best vacations I've ever had. Yeah. I got not changed. There's nothing else I could do here. Quit alerting me. I'm sitting right here. Talking about D-level underground transit. Liverpool also has the oldest deep-level stations in the entire world, too. Liverpool's railway history is much older than London. Interesting. You know what? I have a feeling I know I'm going to be doing tonight. When I'm done, it's time for me to go to bed. Because I always lay down and I end up having to, I'll take a pain pill to kind of get rid of the pain to help me sleep, but then the pain pill keeps me awake, so it's catch-22. but I'll probably be on my iPad. Let's look up Liverpool's rail system. Your long lost brother. Well, he's not lost. You know where he's at. Let me get Auckland. I'm just guessing. Is he in Auckland? This is how good our trip was to New Zealand. We had our daughter was 3 years old at the time, and we left her with the grandparents. Son hadn't been born yet, so she had to be 3 or 4. There was a 5-year difference between the two of them. And so anyway, we did, like I said, we did 2 weeks. We started in Auckland and worked our way from the North Island down to South Island. Ended our trip in Christchurch. And we were getting ready to fly out of Christchurch to fly back to Auckland to catch the plane back to San Francisco. And as we were sitting in the airport, my wife was looking at the newspaper at places to live. I'm looking at the newspaper looking for jobs. We wanted to move to New Zealand. Like I said, it was an incredible experience. And we were doing that for a good half hour, 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden, both of us just like sat up, looked at each other, and went and just said our daughter's name. We completely forgot about our daughter. Okay, we have to go home. So that's how great of a trip it is. I just found out about him the other month. He's from Christchurch. Okay, so I love Christchurch. I mean, that's where we were actually thinking about settling. And there was a church down, all brick church down there in Christchurch. And the reference point, there was this brass thing. I don't know, plate. I'm not gonna call it a plate. It looked more like a big brass coin, but that was the reference point for all of New Zealand. Everything references against that point in front of the church. And when they had that big earthquake a few years back, maybe a couple decades now, I think. I'm not sure, they had that big earthquake. That church was leveled, and that just broke our. Cause that was beautiful. It was a gorgeous church. So, and we just had the affinity. It's like we still talk about it. Every time we hear Christchurch, we're like, oh, what a great trip that was. We love Christchurch. We should just move down there. Still talk about it. So long lost brother, you just found out about him. So I had that same experience though too with my brother. I have he was from my father's first marriage, and I knew nothing about him. And there was also a sister. Okay, I got a flashing yellow again, so which means I got to slow down again. But anyway, I have a sister from that marriage as well too, and I got to meet my brother. He was a really nice guy. Different worlds, I mean, I'm not going to say we tolerate each other because it's more respect than that. It's just that, he grew up in a different environment than what I did, so just don't have a lot in common. But we haven't actually. Yeah, I was going to say we just keep in touch, but honestly, we haven't talked in a while. And there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to bring that up on my channel. Oh my gosh, really? Okay, so I get the gaming part. I mean, but I love the outdoors too. I was going to dynamic here. I gotta slow down before that light. Put a little dynamic on here, just a little. No. We're getting that accordion effect in the accelerometer. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, while it's winter time for you, it's summertime for him. That was the thing. When we went down there, it was summer. We didn't even consider that, that different hemisphere. And when we went down there, it was summertime here, and we packed for a summer vacation. Oh, it just turned green. Let's get off of dynamics. Okay, I'm just going to let gravity take it because we're on the flat now, so let me notch up a little bit. Yeah, I'm bleeding off some speed here. But yeah, we packed for summer and then got down there and we realized, oh, it's winter time down here. But the truth of that whole story is that we said we did pack for summer, and we were on the way to the airport when we realized, wait a minute, it's winter time down there, and we packed for summer. So we stopped at the drugstore. You would call it a chemist, and I'm assuming you would call it a chemist. We stopped at the drugstore and just picked up some of our over-the-counter stuff that we use, and NyQuil and DayQuil is what it's called. I don't know if you guys have anything like that, and I know they didn't have anything like that down there. And the entire bus came down with this flu or this cold. And we became the most popular people on that bus because we're like, hey, when you go to bed tonight, take these 2 tablets, and they were green, and they're like, what is it? Just take it. It'll help you sleep. And people would wake up the next morning going, I feel incredible. And another person would get sick right in the middle of the day. Here, take this orange tablet. You know, it'll keep you going through the day, and then at nighttime, when you go to bed, take these green tablets. And it would just knock this cold out. And we went to the drugstores there in New Zealand, couldn't find anything like it. Couldn't find anything like it at all. And sometimes, sometimes it would be the same medication but under a different name, is what I was kind of expecting. But no, not so much. I should not notch up so fast. We don't do anything fast railroading. Oh, what's that? Okay, give me a minute here. I'm getting another text. Excuse me here. I'll catch up on chat here in just a minute. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, going for walks is better. Yeah, you know what? I'd like game. Don't get me wrong. I like gaming, but I also like being outdoors. And that was the other thing that struck me about New Zealand that I really liked. Is we started out on. I get my geography here in my head. East coast of the South Island, looking out on the Tasman Sea. That's between New Zealand and Australia. Went through what would take us days to go through the same thing here in the United States. Go through from coastal to, like temperate rainforest, high desert, down the coast, down the coastal again, and looking out on the west coast, looking out on the Pacific Ocean, all in one day. Started in the morning, ended up in the night. You can't do that here in the States. And so I just, the way I describe it for anybody that's never been to New Zealand, if you take all of the natural resources, all the parks that we have, everything, and cram it into something the size of California, that's New Zealand. So, and to kind of give you a reference, I always tell people, if you ever look at like pictures of Yosemite National Park here in the United States, that's my back. Ow! Don't use that arm. That's my backyard. That's what I just tell people. That's how close I am to it. UK is very diverse too, as well. Yeah, it is. And I enjoyed that. Was another thing too. Is like one thing that you guys have that we're starting to get, and believe it's kind of amazing that we're just at least here on the West Coast, we're just starting to get is like your hop on, hop off passes, your Eurail passes. That was amazing. Because my wife's a travel agent, so she got us first class tickets for the week that we were there. No, actually it was 2 weeks we were there in the United Kingdom for the honeymoon. And that was, like I said, that was absolutely amazing because we were able to jump on a train, take it someplace, then get off that train, then get on the tube, get on a bus, go anywhere we wanted to go just by showing this pass. And I'm like, why don't we have this in the United States? Well, it's because, we don't really. I know that our Amtrak, which is our passenger service here, they have something like that, but instead of being like I can buy it for a week or I can buy it for a month, it's you get 3 trips, you get 5 trips, and then you got to buy a new one. So it's not the same. It's okay. Green light, nice. All right, reduction 40 miles an hour and 3 miles. So where are we on this trip of ours? Okay. Oh wait, we got some. Looks like we got somebody ahead of us. See, he's coming into here, so he's coming to my. We're getting close, guys. Of course, I'm looking at the dispatching screen. That's why the alerter comes up. I swear it. That's why it does that. All right. So anyway, this is us right here. These guys cleared, but we're coming into the siding. That's why we're doing the reduction of speed, and it's basically because we're catching up to this UP train right here. Oh, wait a minute. Check that. No, we got moving pretty quick. This is BNSF. I just saw that. I'm paying attention. Maybe if I read. So this is us. Our reduction of speed is because we're coming into the Mojave yard. So we made Mojave, guys. And I said in an hour and 15 minutes. We made Mojave in 45 minutes. So so I want to stick with it until we hit the Mojave yard. I'll pull into Mojave and bring this thing to a stop. Hopefully, I'm not going to tie up any tracks. I got to take a look at something here. I'm going to back out of what I'm looking at. I need to find the Mojave yard. I'm on the Depot Plus map right now. I have it on my iPad, so I'm not looking Mojave. All right, so if I'm at, what did I say, 5,078 feet, I can fit pretty much into either track 1, track 2, track 3, or track 4. So I'll probably slide into track 1, or I'm sorry, track 2 in the Mojave yard, and that is my intention. As long as it's not occupied, I should go out there and take a look at it. It's not going to show me on the dispatch. Unlike Barstow shows me on the dispatch screen. That's because Otto can dispatch trains into the receiving yard in Barstow, but in Mojave can't. So I have how much? 2.3 miles. I got 1.5. I got to reduce down to 40. I'm at 38. I'm good. If I leave, the alert is going to come on. I'm just going to deal with it. You know what? Hey, in the real world, I wouldn't be able to fly. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Do I have a defect? You know what? I'm actually keeping my fingers crossed so I have a defect.
BNSF
Let's see.
detector milepost 813.0.
Mersey Rail. Best in UK, always on time in that. Well, timing is not a thing. You know, it's not important, especially when we're on vacation. I don't care about timing. I just know we took the Flying Scotsman from out of London. I think it was King's Cross is where it comes into. I know at one point we were at King's Cross Station. That's all I remember. It's been a while. I mean, so, but we took Flying Scotsman up to Edinburgh, and we had first class, and so we were sitting in our little compartment. And I need to get up and walk around. And so I left my wife. I got up and I walked up and down the car. I looked in other compartments just to see who was there. I come back and we're the only people in this in this whole car. So, and I think the front 3 cars were first class. Everything else was coach. So I walked back and looked in. There was nobody in those first 3 cars other than just my wife and I. And I go back and I look into coach. And they're like, it's standing room only in coach. And I'm just like, oh God, and I'm just like, why? Okay, I'm down to 35, which is fine. I mean, I've got like 0.3 of a mile to get down to 40, and then I got to get down to 25. So we're good. This alert, stop this alert thing. The rest of the UK rail network is a mess. Yeah, they are trying to build a high-speed line, and don't start me on high speed.
BNSF detector.
Don't even. Oh wait.
813.0. No defects.
No
Repeat,
defects.
No defects.
You couldn't find something so I could have something to do?
352. Train
I kid.
speed 34 mph. Ambient temperature 87. Decrease.
Track speed
Out.
was 40. Actually, why did I notch up? I'm just going to keep letting it bleed off because I've got about 7/10 of a mile and I got to be down to 25. So I think that that's the freeway I'm going to go underneath as I pull into the yard. I'm going to notch down. You know what? I'm going to notch down later. If it comes to a stop, it comes to a stop. Whoop. All right. White headline. Okay. And let's. There we go. Come on in. The water's fine. Whoa! Get back up here. You know what? I'm going to have to stop the train. And then I'll... He's got me green into Mojave, but I need to jump off and look at the switches because they're all manual throw. So... No, you know what? Yeah, we were living the high life, but you know what? We were, as she told me, she worked the points. That, and she also knows Richard Branson, so we're not going to go down that one. 12 Tail wasn't going to throw that out there. All right, let's set brakes, full brakes right now, and we get out and look at the switches. So yeah, we got to the hotel when we got to London, and there was a huge gift basket from Richard Branson to us, and he had paid for. Okay, I need to change that. This. Change that. That's automatic, but I'm going to come in here. I think I can come down this one. This is the track I want to be on. I'm just going to come down. Let me get back into drone mode here. Oh yeah, plenty of room. I can bring it right down to here. So I need to suspend auto so I can flip the switches I need to flip. Let's see what he's got. So, wait a minute, where am I? Sanborn, I'm right here. He's got me in. I gotta come. Yep. Turn that off. Turn auto off. I had Mojave. Come on. You can change. Signals unavailable because I'm sitting there. I thought I came to a stop. Am I moving? Oh, wrong key again. I do that a lot. Or am I just too close? He's not going to let me. No, I'm actually not. I'm not. Well, I'm past the lights, but I should still. That's right. This one is the one I need to. There it goes. Okay, now it's going. I thought I did unlock it. Okay. There we go. And then, all right, that's into the yard. Whoa, get back up here. So that's right, coming off of there, coming here, turning into here. Well, that looks right on the tracks. It doesn't look right here, though. Call MOW to manually reset switches. Well, it looks okay. This is his dispatch board's all messed up, but it looks right here. Now watch this. Watch it not be right. Watch it not be locked in, and I'm going to derail. Hey, something to do. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I don't think I have anybody coming, do I? Nope. He's going. This guy's going away from me, so I'm good. Okay. Get off of dynamics. Release the hounds. Get some beans. All right. Let's see. So it was King's Cross, East Coast line. You and your wife are living the high life compared to us peons. Your wife knows Richard Branson. Are you? No, she does. Yeah, and the reason she does is because what she did, as a travel agent, she goes to a lot of seminars and things like that, and so she learned the ins and outs and how to sell Virgin Atlantic. And there was, I guess, this big contest, and she won. And this was a worldwide contest from Virgin Atlantic, and so she won that contest. And it was through that contest that she got to meet Richard Branson, because he personally gave her the reward. So that's how she knows him. And so, and they, even before we were married, dating, she would email him directly, because he said, if you ever need anything, just email me and I'll answer your question. And so she would email him, different questions. Well, when it came time to get married, she said she wanted to plan the honeymoon trip because she's a travel agent. I'm like, I don't want you to do it. Let me do it. Okay, you do it. Have fun with it. So, and that's what she did. She called Richard Branson and said, hey, my husband's never been to Europe before, and that was the first time I've ever been to Europe. So this is where we want to go. What can you do to help us? And he goes, don't worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything. So, just give me a list of hotels that you might have already arranged. So we had kind of like coach accommodations everywhere. He upgraded us first class everywhere we went. So that's how we got the first class tickets, first class, hop on. I guess it was a first class or a high rate, hop on, hop off pass, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, he didn't have to, but it was because of him that we had this phenomenal time. Oh, I need to do left shift start, do the countdown timer. I meant to start that earlier, but okay, we're going to pull in. Make sure that I have cleared the switches back there so I can set everything back. And then I'm going to pull all the way up to the end of the yard because, like I said, probably spend the next, I got to pull the locomotives on the back off, and then I'll probably use the road engines to flat switch the cars that I have so I can put them, do a better job of how they were put on and make it easier for when these cars get out to Trona, and then eventually get these cars out to Trona and then get them into the industry and start processing the industry, and then get the next road train. Because I think we got like maybe 1 or 2 coal cars. That's not enough. We need like a long string. And that honestly, if the next one doesn't give me coal cars or acid cars, I will probably just make a train and bring it in. Just bring it in. So fair play, to be honest. Yeah, good luck. Yeah. So other than that, so once we bring this to a stop, I will be bringing the stream to a close. It's time, like I said, it's where I've had a surgery last week is on Thursday. My surgery was on Thursday, and I was out yesterday morning. So, and then even after the surgery with the pain, I had to do a lot of running around, and so today's like then I had training today. So first half of the day was training, no pun intended. And now I'm playing trains now. So, but I appreciate everybody hanging with me, especially you too. Was it FKL? I'll just call you 770. We'll just go with that. I can make it easy. pretty good. 12 miles an hour through the yard. That's pretty safe. 15 is the is usually yard limit speed. Well, it says track train speed 10, so I'm like 1 mile over train speed. But oh well. I look it up on the vernometer, I'll get blasted for it. So that's why I'm not going to look it up on the vernometer. So, but definitely want to thank everybody that hung out with me during this beginning of this series of the Trona Railway project. And we'll go with this for a little bit until I can think of something else to do. And of course, if you're catching this later on and you bring the stream up and watch it again, hey, thanks for doing that. Please watch it all the way through. Always, because I've never noticed if I'm getting the, you know what, I don't remember seeing, if I wasn't paying attention, if I got the little icon come up, click subscribe, click the alerts, so you can always always know when I'm coming back up again with another stream. I would appreciate if you do that, and if you watch the video again, please watch it all the way through. It helps. It helps get me out there, get a larger audience, and it's kind of what I want to do. I want to get a larger audience. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, put flyers on cars throughout the neighborhood. So, and mostly though, I definitely want to bring a larger fan base to this railroad simulator. I'm biased. I think it's the best simulator out there. Like I said, it's full sandbox. No scenarios other than what you create for yourself. Hence the Trona Railway project. So, yeah. I mean, share if you got friends that like trains. You guys go out and do some some rail fanning with friends. Tell them about this. Get together. I mean, it shines in multiplayer mode, so you and your friends could actually get together and have your own multiplayer server, or you can join like the Mateo server, and they're on Discord. I'll have links to their Discord. I think I can put a link to their Discord, or to their server. Definitely be a part of that. Oh, good. I think I was down. I was looking at the end. That's the end of the track right there. But I did start a little late on the countdown timer, but I got like 300 feet, so I think I'm going to make it. So, yeah, we're going to make it at 100 feet. Just about 100 feet to go. So, bring it in here to Mojave. On the next session of the Trona Railway project, I will be taking it, like I said, I'll probably won't be taking it anywhere. I'll be doing flat switching to get it ready to head out. All right, we're going to go ahead. Let's bring it all the way down. And we'll get some dynamics in. Full brakes as well. Wait for the OT move. Stop moving. Crane stop moving. And handbrakes are on. We are here, guys. Turn the lights off. Kill the bell. Close the window so nobody, did I open the back door up? Nope, back door is closed. Good. That way nobody gets in, takes our train. I kid, of course. Alright, shut that down. Shut that down. Go back in. Kill switches. There we go. All lights off, just my flashlight. Go home. That's SP Bob right over there. That's his nickname from now on. Somebody else calls their conductor Bob, but this is going to be SP Bob. So, alright, we're all shut down. Dynamic brake only, start, stop, isolate, and we'll leave it and run. Can I turn this off? Ooh, is it switchable? It glowed when I clicked on it. Oh, hang on. I get this backwards. Well, oh, that one had fresh air. Ooh, fresh air makeup blower. Hey, I get a blower for my makeup. Awesome. Maintenance lights. All right. Those switch. This clicks and turns blue, but won't switch. All right. Anyway, we're done. We're here. We're in Mojave. Ready for the next section. So at that point, for everybody who was having, yeah, nice traveling. We'll see you next time. So if there's any questions, also too, you can drop, put comments in there. I've been really bad at answering comments, so I've been working on making a habit of checking the comments. Leave me a comment. Also, there's that I put a poll up. I'm right now in Northern California is my virtual model railroad. If you want me to move from that to something else, like here in Southern California or Norfolk Southern, Pittsburgh Division, Southeast CSX, Northeast CXX, which would be Mohawk, Selkirk, whatever you want me to do, just put a vote in there. That'll run through to about the 15th of October, and we'll go from there. Anyway, once again, subscribe, click the bell. Have a good night.